Hey Avatar fans. So, Empire Magazine have dropped yet another article, and I'll be honest, it has made me feel some strong emotions. So, stick around to hear what I think about this latest piece of news around Avatar, and also what I think James Jim Cameron has to say about it. So, I actually think James Cameron's trolling. I think that this is either clickbait or it's literally some other nonsense because everything that he says in the article contradicts everything that we know about James Cameron. And I've been following Jim for years and years, and there's literally like two big reasons why this is just really, really ridiculous article and even a ridiculous idea. So he says that he wouldn't or he might not direct Avatar 4 and 5, and it may pass the baton on to someone else. I mean, there's loads of problems with that. Number one is this is James Cameron's magnum opus. Avatar is like his baby. He's openly said that everything that he wants to say creatively, he can say with these movies, and he's obviously super hyped up about them. Even later in the article, he talks about how number 4 is going to be like amazing and a mother. He talks about in the past, he said that the Avatar movies are like the Manhattan Project, this huge, insane project that is going to blow people's minds. Oppenheimer didn't drop out of the Manhattan Project halfway through, and I don't believe that Jim would do that for the Avatar saga either. It's the same. It would be like the same as the article yesterday, or it would be like Tolkien coming out and saying, "Oh yeah, I've written the first two Lord of the Rings books, but you know what? I'm going to let someone else write the third." It's just ridiculous. These films are James Cameron. They encapsulate what he is. I also couldn't imagine any director who he could pass it off to confidently. I mean, we've seen with the Terminator movies that if a James Cameron film isn't a James Cameron film if he doesn't direct it. The same with Alita Battle Angel. Massive respect to Robert Rodriguez, but even when he was given a James Cameron script and a James Cameron storyboard, it still didn't feel like a James Cameron movie. It didn't have that sense of scale, that sense of epicness that it seems like only he can capture. And even though there's probably every other director in Hollywood would jump at the chance to direct these movies, I really, really don't think that even if you had directors working together, again, that they would be able to capture what we know Jim is capable of putting on the screen, of being able to blow our minds like he is. So that's my kind of my opinion on it in general. I think if we think about some of the reasons why he might have said this, there are a few, and the biggest one is that we know that he loves exploration. He says that he's got other projects, but I don't even believe that they're creative projects because he has said in the past that, again, he can say everything he creatively wants to say with Avatar, so why would he do another creative project? It must be something to do with exploration. He wants to go and explore or do something like that, if that's what he's talking about. But even again, he's 67 now. He would be 70 by the time 3 comes out. I don't think that if he couldn't physically direct, then he's going to be able to physically explore. So again, that doesn't make sense. In fact, when Avatar first came out, during the press run for the Oscars, Jim quite clearly said that he thinks he will die in the directing chair. So I really, really don't think that this is true. I feel like he's almost saying it to build drama or to kind of be a little bit like joking or trolling. I can't imagine that Avatar 2 and 3, if they are as big a hits as Avatar was, that he wouldn't then come back and do 4 and 5. And if they bombed, then I just don't think they'd make Avatar 4 and 5 at all. I don't think there's any middle ground where it does, kind of mediocre, and then he hands it off to someone else, like Rodriguez. Again, for all the reasons I already mentioned. That doesn't make any sense whatsoever. I also think that this is kind of a clickbaity article in some ways, especially given the fact that we know that some of the things Empire have already said just aren't true. Like yesterday's article about Quaritch, where they talked about him being cigar chomping, when Like I said, I don't remember him ever smoking a cigar. The article before that where they talk about Ronal and they got how her name is pronounced wrong, it feels to me like they're kind of almost misreporting things maybe for the kind of headline. Because even in this exact same article, Jim later on talks about number 4 and how 4's going to be a mother and going to be amazing. How he could go from saying, you know what, I might not be directing 4, but also it's going to be amazing and blow your mind. That's a complete contradiction. You know, this is a man who went from he stepped away from the NASA Advisory Council to focus on the Avatar movies and the creation of them. I don't think someone would step away from something like that if they weren't all in on it. So yeah, I really, really, this news is I personally don't believe it. I think it's complete bullshit, and I also think that if it is true, then Jim as basically would have dropped the ball because he is. We all know anyone who's a fan of him and these movies knows people. There's no one in this world other than Jim. Now maybe what he's hinting at here is that his other projects are actually him cloning himself, and that the person he's going to pass it on to is he's cloned his 30-year-old self, and that he's going to be the one directing it, which isn't outside of the realm of possibility, given that it's James Cameron. But I don't really think that is a realistic option. I'd love to know what everyone else thinks, because this article's like kind of throwing me for a loop. But yeah, so let me know in the comments. Please subscribe if you like the video, and thanks for watching.